All right, Shane Walker, you're the Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer with Proactive Budget, an app that I absolutely love. I think it is going to dominate the space. And I don't say that lightly. But can you kind of explain a little bit about what Proactive Budget is, how it works, and what makes it so unique and so much more effective than any other budgeting app that anyone may have used in the past?
Absolutely, Josh. So the thing that's interesting about budgeting is it's very easy to create a budget and then not look at it through the month, do all your spending, and then at the end of the month come and kind of reconcile your spending with your budget. And in most situations, that spending you've overspent, and it feels bad. It doesn't feel good to overspend, and you feel guilty. And so very few families stick to budgeting consistently. Yeah. And in fact, Ryan Clark is my partner in this, and from our experience from the financial planning industry, we've met with hundreds of families, put them on many different budgeting platforms, and it's usually within 90 days that they've fallen off. And it's really frustrating because it's the basis to a financial plan. Budgeting is the basis. If you can control spending and you can control your money, then that provides a platform for us to build upon. And so what makes Proactive so special is it uses the cash envelope system, okay, which we believe is the most powerful budgeting platform in the world because it really requires you to make a decision before you spend, to consult your budget each time before you spend. The problem with it is it's cash basis in a cashless world, and there's a lot of logistical problems with cash. And we could go into those. But so Proactive Budget has really replicated the cash envelope system, made it cashless, and you can hold it in the palm of your hand, and it's always with you because it's on a phone. Okay, so each time you spend, you have to take certain steps that take seconds to consult your budget, activate that money so you can spend, and it always syncs with your budget. So in real time, you are experiencing what's going on with your budget and your spending simultaneously.
I love it. So, from a human behavior standpoint, I just, having lost a lot of weight, I know that the one thing that absolutely worked for me is if I just leave it to chance and just say, oh, well, I'm going to try and eat healthy. I'm going to try and stay on a budget. And I have some grand ideas at the beginning of the month. Forget it. It's not going to work. I know what absolutely worked for me was that when I tracked everything using like MyFitnessPal or Lose It or whatever, and I'd add up the calories as I was eating, it would give me clarity. And it was that clarity that helped me with all those individual choices that we have to make on a daily basis. It's all those micro choices throughout the day, throughout the month, that adds up. If you want to know, how does a family spend $800-900 at the grocery store? It doesn't happen overnight. It happens throughout the course of the month. It's all those individual choices of what you put in the cart. And I agree with you. The only way I feel, or at least the most effective way that you can assure yourself that you'll stay within a budget is you just have to set parameters on that daily activity. And that's what Proactive has done, as a Proactive Budget has done. And can you explain a little bit more about how it actually works?
Yes, absolutely. In going into a little bit, clarifying what you've said or to further prove that, the average American spends about $1,500 a month in discretionary spending. And this is really where they get in trouble. And we have proven by utilizing Proactive, because it's always with them, that they will spend $400 less a month, Josh. $400. Now, $400 a month is $4,800, almost $5,000 a year. $5,000 a year put into the right financial plan will absolutely transform someone's finances over the course of their life. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'll kind of share how this works. So if you look at the screen here, the magic of this whole process is actually this debit card. Okay. This debit card is connected to a default zero checking account. All right. That checking account can't overdraft. And there's certain steps that must be taken before you can access the money. So let me kind of walk you through that. So when you set up an account with Proactive, you connect it to your bank. And each month you'll transfer the discretionary income, the discretionary spending money over to this system, which is simply residing with an FDIC insured bank and so forth. So when that's transferred in, it comes into what we call undistributed. In the undistributed category that you can see at the top, that money, I have 12 cents in there right now, right? That money cannot be spent until it's first assigned a responsibility. Okay, even in the cash envelope system, if you take cash out of the bank, really you don't have to put it in the envelopes to spend it. And sometimes people, as they use it more, they get lazy and they don't do that, right? But in our system, it requires you to put it into an envelope. Okay, an envelope that you actually create yourself. And once you distribute it, and that's simply the push of a button that creates that distribution, it comes into your envelopes. Okay, and you can see our envelopes. We have fuel, Shane fund money, groceries, family trip, Creases fund money, date night, so forth. Okay, and we have budgeted money for each of those areas. When you distribute, it distributes hard cash. That's what represents the dark green, and the dollar amount in the black. And so now we have money in our budget, and when we go to the store, all we have to do is simply push spend. So let's say Crease and I are on a date night, we're going out to eat, and we want to access that $71.42, and we're at the restaurant. All I do is push spend, and in about 10 seconds, that money transfers from our checking account to the default zero checking account and becomes available for us to spend. Okay? And that's all that's happening. And once that spend takes place, so now it's ready to spend, when I swipe the card, which again, you can see that $71.42 shows up on the debit card.
Yep.
If I try to spend $72, it won't allow me to.
Wow.
I'll have to go back to my budget. I'll have to transfer money from, say, car insurance. No, that's a bad one because we need that.
Don't do that.
But anyways, from a different category so that I have sufficient money, and then I would have to push spend again so that there was at least that amount. Otherwise, the card will decline. And if I don't push spend, Josh, the card will decline because there's no money on the card.
Yeah.
And so it actually causes me each time to go to my budget, really simply look at where I'm at, push the spend button, and as soon as that spend happens, if we had a little more time, I'd show you how I've connected this up to Apple Pay, Walmart Pay, all these things. And then, so when you sign up for our app, you actually get the card within seconds, the virtual card that can be used immediately, connected up to Apple Pay and all those things. And then within 7 days of subscribing, you'll get a physical card that matches the number on the card, and everything syncs together. And as soon as I make that spend, whatever I didn't spend transfers back into the envelope and portrays how much money I have left over in that budgeted category.
I love it. So Shane, how does someone get started with this? Is there a cost associated with it? And how does that part work? How does someone activate a Proactive Budget membership?
Okay, awesome. So simply by going to the App Store, search Proactive Budget, pulls us up, and you download the app. Through that process, you are setting up a bank account. So there are some disclaimers and some things that you have to agree to with our bank so that all that is legal and to code. And so you'll take a picture of your driver's license so we get that information. But it's a simple process. And then once you're finished with onboarding to the app, it'll connect your bank account with Proactive. And there'll be a microcredit sent so that all that system is sent up, and makes it, it's actually really simple. It does take a couple of days because of the microcredit and so forth. But once that's done, when you transfer the money from your account to this, it takes 24 hours. And as soon as you distribute it to the categories, it's immediately available with the click of a button. Okay.
I like this because it actually makes I like the idea of allocating money to certain places. It helps with security as well.
Yeah, let me actually talk about a few other things that we've thought a lot about this and how this could really help people. Um, One is you're right. This is the safest card on the planet because if you don't have any money, if you haven't pushed the spend button, there's no money on the card. So if you lose the card, they get a piece of plastic, right? They'd have to steal your phone, hack into the phone, hack into the app. So it really is the safest card. And I know that, identity theft and security is a big issue in our world today. But in addition to that, we've created a system so it will work as a family. Your children can have cards, okay? They can share in the family budget and have their own envelope system. So, for example, if your daughter's at the grocery store, but at volleyball practice, you need her to stop and get some stuff. You can transfer that grocery budget to her. She can use her card, spend, and it syncs all into the family budget. Okay, so there's a lot of cool things. And then husband and wife, in each envelope, if you look over the details, you can set up controls of how much money can be spent without authorization from the spouse. And all these are all optional, but they're all available so that you can work as husband and wife. Wow. In your family budget. Because it's interesting that in most situations, one is a good budgeter and one's not. Consequently, 2/3 of the arguments in marriage are over finances. Okay. Yeah. So you asked about price, Josh, and so for one card, it's $69 a year. Okay. So incredibly reasonable. For a companion cards, husband and wife cards, it's $98 a year. We haven't built out the kid card yet. We are doing that currently. It'll be available early next year, and each kid card will be $20. So for a husband and wife, it's just under $100 to have a budgeting system that they can work together, and we have proven that they will spend $400 less a month by utilizing this system. Like you said, just like with the diet, it's always in front of them. Yeah. There's tracking, there's proof, everything's real.
Yeah. We have to be honest with ourselves, Shane. And, I believe in setting up systems that make things easy and automatic. It's why Dave Ramsey advocated the envelope system, over a decade ago, because it works. It's the only thing that truly, truly works, because human behavior is set up so that, we're just, we want something, and it can be really, really easy to just kind of forget about it. We get to the end, we do a postmortem budget, and we're always frustrated with the fact that we can't stay on a budget. Think of the family fights that can be avoided if you could actually work together as husband and wife and have a successful budget together month after month after month. That's why I like the name Proactive, because that's exactly what you're doing, is you're being very proactive on exactly how the money is being delegated. And so if you're in an emergency situation, you can do what you have to do, but at least we can make sure to curb that, what'd you call it, discretionary spending, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And Josh, this is actually very emotional for Ryan and I, because literally through this experience, both he and I in our marriages have faced difficult financial periods where it has caused a lot of stress and a lot of frustration. And we see and feel that with clients, hundreds of clients. And we see Proactive as a tool, as a platform where millions of families can be lifted from the paycheck to paycheck cycle that causes so much stress in marriage and family and work and everything, and then help them eliminate debt permanently. And we have some things coming with the automated debt elimination system that we will be building out that will connect right in with the budgeting system. We really feel like this can be an answer to millions of families. And we are passionate about that. So anyways, it really is exciting to us too, Josh.
Yeah. Well, I've checked out Proactive Budget app, and it's a no-brainer to me. So this video, for those who are the benefit of listening to us in our podcast app, we have a post. We have a video with Shane and I where it kind of shows you some of the screenshots from the phone itself. We'll include more information in the post just in regards to the reasons why we believe at Savings Angel that the Proactive app, honestly, I've played with a lot of apps over the past 11 plus years and even before then. This, honestly, in my experience, is the only thing that I think will truly, truly work for the vast majority of us, just because we set those parameters, and those parameters are available to us on a daily basis as opposed to just guessing from day to day. So I love it. Shane, thank you so much for being a part, you and Ryan, in creating the Proactive Budgeting app. Again, it's available on the App Store, in the Apple App Store. Google Android, is that in the pipeline?
It is. That will be released the first of next year. And if you reach out to us through our website, which is proactivebudget.com, we can connect you in with actually some instructions where you can utilize it now through a hack, actually.
Yeah, web-based browser or something.
But it'll be available early next year.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So Shane Walker, thank you so much for joining us with Proactive Budget. And again, go to savingsangel.com if you're listening to this, and look for the post. We'll have it in the sidebar actually throughout the website where we talk about our review of the Proactive Budgeting app, and then we'll give you some suggestions on best ways to use it. And above all, how you and your loved ones can get on the same page. You don't have to fight about money anymore. You can just work together, set up a system that's going to work for you. Shane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being such an advocate to us.